Oh, hello! How are you today? I'm good, I'm fine, I like it here. This is a good spot, Not yet wet spot, soon to be, but for now I just enjoy the view, the sunset. I mean, look at the sunset and the waves, which give me a great background sound for a video, because I want to make a review of the city of Porto, because I've been here for almost a week and I have opinions and I thought I might share them with you. And what better place is there to share opinions than at the Wild Sea? Okay, so overall, in total, I quite liked my stay. I had a great host, but this is not specific to the city. This is just specific to my friends. The city is very old, so I wouldn't describe it as a modern city, but I really like modern cities, so that's one thing that I miss here. I'm not saying they're lacking behind or anything. I'm just saying it doesn't feel any modern. Then another important thing, it's a rather cheap place. Portugal, I think in general, compared to the rest of Europe, rather cheap. Now my last traveling was done to Copenhagen, so that's kinda the other way where it becomes expensive. And for instance, public transport in Copenhagen, I paid as much for a day as I paid here for the whole week, and I did about as much traveling every day. 2 trips basically. So yeah, it is expensive, and for locals, like my host said, public transport is expensive. I was like, is it really though? For me this is super cheap. Also, fancy restaurants have the prices of normal restaurants back home, like in England or Austria. I don't know what my home is at the moment, so just any of those. And you can like, even at the seaside or at the riverside, you can go to one of those restaurants and still, for me, normal prices, even though the prices are definitely touristy and definitely high. But yeah. Speaking of restaurants, the cuisine here, I must admit, not a fan. I mean, I did really like the octopus that I tried, but it was just, I don't know why, but it was too much. Maybe it was so, I don't know, too fatty, I don't know. But I couldn't finish it, and I usually always finish my food, and it was not even a big portion. So yeah, but it's not that it's bad. Compared to England, it's definitely good food. I was just not a fan of the francesinha, the little French girl, the bread with meat and cheese in a sauce. That was not a fan, but in general, like, you can eat here. They do a lot of meat and fish, and it's usually good. But the traditional, like, yeah, I give it 5 out of 10 stars for the cuisine. What else is there to mention? The city itself, my impressions of the city, as I said, it's an old city, and it's also rather aggressive. I would say aggressive. From the people, the vibe that I got, it's not that people are in a hurry, not New York City style, not like I've ever been to New York City, but not that people are in a hurry, but just they scream around a lot. And to me, as I'm not a local, also Caro did scream around, and I was like, whoa, why did you do that? But apparently this is normal here, that people just scream to the others, and for me there was kind of, I'm not used to that. And I mean, it's not like, I don't perceive it as rude, I just perceive it as something that I'm not used to. So I see it as aggressive. Also the cars, the way they drive, definitely more aggressive. And speaking of cars, in the city center, like here it's completely fine, but in the city center you do really smell the city. Here you smell the sea, but in the city center you smell the fumes from the cars and the buses. And this is mainly because like they don't have the newest cars and buses, and also it's very hilly, so they have to put a lot of gas in the engine, so that lots of exhausts and then lots of stinky air. When I opened the my window at my hostel, I was like, oh, that stinks. Like you get used to it, but, and I don't know what the values are for like micro dust or whatever. And it's definitely like, it's not so bad that you can't live here or anything. It's just something that I'm not used to. But you need to keep in mind that I live in Cranfield, where there's nothing. So it's in the greens. There's nothing else. So I'm used to very good, fresh, clean air with some airplane petrol fumes. Yeah. But in general, the city is pretty. There's good views on the city. I enjoyed seeing that. I enjoyed being here at the sea. There are surf stations in that direction, so you can go surfing. In the summer you can go swimming. I mean, you can also go swimming now, but I guess it's too cold for that. And yeah, that's my impression. Would I come here again? Yes, definitely. But I don't see myself ever living in Porto. For living here, it's not the right vibe for me, but that's a personal thing. But I can recommend traveling here for a few days, just to check out the city, check out the people. That's a cool thing. Oh yeah, another thing that is on my mind all the time, because I have a special thing with smokers. I really don't like the smell of smoke, and I did realize that a lot of people are smoking here, lots more than compared to England. About the same as in Austria, I would say, but in Austria it's also really bad, and I really don't like Austria for that reason. That's my number one reason why I don't like Austria. You can't go out because everybody's smoking everywhere, and I'm like, I hate that. Yeah, so that's another thing that annoys me personally, but I guess most of the people do not care, so I just mention it here at the end. Right, I hope you liked my little review of Porto. The sun has gone down, but I did put my GoPro over there, so you can now enjoy the sunset, and you will see me again tomorrow, but not in Porto anymore. So make your backup and enjoy the sunset.